Hey, hey, Sagittarius. Mal, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your December 2025 monthly reading. And for those of you celebrating another trip around the sun, happy, happy birthday to you. Let's open up your energy field and take a look at what the month ahead has in store. Bottom of the deck, you are connecting to family and friends, your support system this month. It could be for the holiday season, but also birthdays for many of you. There's the birthday balloons with inner child as one of your key themes for the month ahead. I see that this month is filled with a lot of laughter, a lot of happiness, a lot of joy and enthusiasm. And many of you are being guided to dream bigger, to expand your horizons. Yeah, Three of Wands as your starting energy is all about refreshing your thinking and playing with some new timelines because you want to step into 2026 feeling more alive, feeling rejuvenated, feeling refreshed after a little bit of a challenging year for some of you, or there's been some big transformation, some big changes that you have gone through, whether in your health, for some of you this is your career or your relationships. But the Three of Wands is all about that momentum starting to build. Your confidence is also starting to increase, which is beautiful. And I see some of you may even be traveling or preparing to travel or getting excited about maybe a bigger trip that's planned in 2026. Now, this could even be an overseas trip. It could be that you are relocating or moving, or there may even be family or a friend coming in from a distance. That's what I'm getting for many of you. Now, you have some beautiful new energies that you're playing with this month with the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups is about possibility, right? It's about exploring your options, but not letting them overwhelm you to the point where you're feeling scattered or discombobulated, right? You are opening yourself up to daydreaming a little bit, but then taking those daydreams and turning them into reality. And that's what 2026 is all about for you. So let's dive in. You have a lot of really beautiful, juicy things happening through change, through endings, through transformation. So what's on the other side of this change is quite profound. Again, bottom of the deck, we have family. There could even be a new family member joining. Maybe this is a new child being born. It could be a new pet or a new animal that is now part of the family. And I'm also seeing that there may be a loved one who is in spirit, who is no longer physically around you, but you and your whole family feels their presence. Perhaps this is mom or even dad, because you have the father energy coming through as an archetype. There could be someone that is becoming a father as well, or a lot of ancestral healing has been taking place. I am seeing the title of Molly Ringwald's movie, 16 Candles. I have not seen that in a long time. So maybe some of you, that movie comes up, or perhaps it's connected to your birthday, or maybe 16 was a big year for many of you. Now, that is a powerful age of becoming, right? We typically get our driver's license and the heart is opening up and we're experiencing new communities, new friends, new tribe. So it feels like there's this renewed energy within you that feels exciting again, kind of like it did when you were younger. So that could be something that is showing up for you here in the new year. But I'm also getting with ancestral healing, perhaps there was something that occurred in your earlier years, maybe around that time in your life that could have been a little bit heavier or challenging as well. Maybe even having to do with parents, or your foundation was shifted or shaken in some way. There could have been a divorce, or there could have been a loss, or, a family had to move. But I see that you have built and created a strong stability for yourself. You are someone who is very, very loved. You are very supported, even if it feels like you are walking a lonely path at times. You have a good, strong, solid support system around you. And for many of you, that's what you're inviting in 2026. If you have felt lonely or if you have felt isolated, family is at the bottom of the deck, but it feels like you are being comforted, just like in the womb, right? We are nurtured and we have everything we need to continue growing. Perhaps womb healing is something that you have looked into or something you've been healing yourself, is that sacral chakra. And I'm also getting kundalini energy. So if you are not familiar with that, check it out. Many of you may have had a kundalini awakening, or that is something that spirit is bringing in for your 2026. I know this is a December reading, but it feels like this is expansive and flows into the year ahead. And I will be doing yearly readings as well. So keep an eye out for them. Now, family is part of I feel like it's central to your life purpose, and healing these cycles, maybe even breaking out of patterns or creating a new sense of stability and peace within yourself, within your chosen family here. So that is a big deal. Now, key themes playing out. I love the inner child. Your inner child is being celebrated and you are having fun. You may even be connecting with children in your own family. If you have children yourself, whether they are littles or they are older, there is a child heart coming in here, and maybe multiple. I see a lot of enthusiasm around you, Sag, and a lot of magic returning to your life, because it feels like the Empress mixed with the Magician. That's the energy I'm getting from this inner child, which is interesting. Maybe Empress also is connected to reparenting or learning how to love yourself in a different way than maybe you were modeled love. But it could also be a misuse of power. Maybe there was some form of manipulation, maybe from a divine feminine, or there was a misunderstanding of how to use one's power in some way with a divine feminine, or when it comes to your creativity, you weren't quite sure, like, what do I do with all this magic? What do I do with all this power? But it feels like you are honoring that inner magic. You are being guided to share your skills, your powers, your talents with the world. Because I like to think of the Magician as the creative engineer, and you are taking those ideas of yours, those talents, and you're doing something in the physical material world. Because I see the Six of Pentacles showing up here, which is reciprocity. It feels like you now have, or you will have, the support and backing financially, maybe to dive more into some of those inner child dreams of yours, to bring some of those passions to life, some of those creative projects here. So inner child with the balloons is strong and powerful. And also I'm noticing the yellow. Now we have one green balloon here, which connects to that heart chakra, but a whole lot of yellow, which is the solar plexus. And I'm just looking to see what chakra is coming up for you. So there's your womb, there's your sacral. We'll talk about that here in a moment, but the yellow is connected to the stomach. So I see that for many of you, your stomach could be sensitive as well, perhaps to certain foods. You may be sensitive to the energies around you of certain people or activities that you've outgrown. But I also see that, your gut, which is our second brain, is so incredibly powerful. So if you've had issues with digestion, or I'm even getting like parasites, or needing to go on a good cleanse, if you have had issues with bowels or liver or anything like that, this would be a great time to start thinking about maybe flushing out the system and maybe going on a good cleanse as well. Now, I know we can eat like a child around this time of year, where we have our fingers in the cookies and the pies and the treats and stuff like that. And it's okay to indulge from time to time, as long as that is not our norm, because then that can have an adverse, reaction. And I see that you're enjoying the time with your family. You're not worrying so much about the foods or what doesn't, how do I put that? You're not worried so much about the things that, you want to pay attention to later is almost what I'm getting here for you. So you have messages coming through. And messages is about incoming news, announcements. Okay, Spirit is saying go back to what I was just trying to say. So balancing out diet. So even if you are eating that cupcake, don't be so hard on yourself. Or, if you have indulged a little bit, don't be so hard on yourself, because there will be a rebalancing out. So maybe that's a better way of putting it. Now, there could be some incoming news or communication, Sag, that shows up out of the blue. This could be birthday wishes. This could be even a family member or a friend that you haven't spoken to for quite some time, or you hear from someone that you weren't expecting. And I also see that you're going to have a lot of incoming communications around birthday. Does someone have a double birthday here? Like, it reminds me of, my mother is a Sagittarius, and she's close to Christmas, and she would always get upset that people or her family would combine her Christmas and birthday presents. It's like she wasn't able to have that experience of a separate birthday where, they would say, go pull a present from underneath the tree, right? So maybe some of you have a close birthday next to Christmas or a holiday, and it has felt like, well, wait a second, I want to celebrate me. It feels like you are celebrating you, or you are being celebrated this year, and it feels really good. It feels like there's a lot of incoming messages, and it just leaves you feeling very good that you have this support. And you may even hear from people online, like social media, that you haven't even thought of, and they're leaving you birthday messages or holiday messages, and you're like, wow, I just got a holiday card from, Timmy Thompson, and I haven't heard of Timmy and his family for quite some time, and now I get a holiday card. Awesome. And it's not that you are making friends with surface level people, but it feels like you don't realize that people are thinking about you or care about you as much as they do, right? So it feels like there's this energy of caring and loving and community and connection. Now, you also have hobby here. Now, Sag, hobby is all about side projects. It can be about creative endeavors and your passions and what brings you joy, right? Joy to the world. I feel like you're mastering your craft, meaning you're really good at something this time of year. So if you are really good at crafting, maybe you're great at building gingerbread houses or decorating the tree, and people always compliment you and say, wow, Sag, your home looks beautiful if you celebrate the holidays. Or, they may say, this is such a beautiful knit sweater that you gifted me. Or maybe you love to bake, right? You love to bake, and you're making a tin full of candies or cookies, and you're giving them out. It feels like you're really good at something, and you could turn that into a gift, like gift giving with that Six of Pentacles, but you could also monetize. Now, not all of you are wanting to do that. You're like, Mel, I love doing this at this time of year. I don't have to make money. It's something that it feels good, and other people enjoy what I'm creating. But for some of you, you could make money. Maybe this is a side gig. So for example, you could continue making those cookies or those breads and sell them year round. Or for some of you, you may enjoy canning, or you may enjoy whatever it is, right? Whatever it is that is your hobby or that you're good at. And you may be playing with a little bit more and expanding on that energy and utilizing it to profit in 2026 if you feel called to do so. So we have the Three of Wands coming in here. This is hitting that refresh button, and there's also a beautiful little girl here and a beautiful wise elder. So the Three of Wands is expanding your horizons and hitting that refresh button and kind of going back and forth, because you have the wisdom here of the elder, but because you have inner child, for many of you, even if you are older, I see that you have these beautiful ideas and these joys. Some of you have very kind eyes. I see someone with beautiful brown or hazel eyes. It reminds me of that song, Brown Eyed Girl. But I do see here that your eyes tell a story, and someone may even have very intense, very dreamy. This could be very blue ocean eyes. And I see that you have acquired a lot of wisdom, and people come to you for your wisdom, and you are here to kind of help and support and assist. And it wouldn't surprise me if you are an excellent host, an excellent gift giver, someone who is very nurturing, very caring. But I also see that your inner child is coming out, and you may love this time of year, even if it's been challenging in the past, or you may be celebrating this joyful time with your children or with your family. And when it comes to your career, I see that many of you are visualizing. It's like you're opening up that third eye. As you can see, this woman's third eye is expanding, where she's going back to that youthful part of herself. And so there's a new beginning, a new idea stirring within you. Don't be surprised if you're having dreams about babies or young children, maybe baby pets as well. Hopefully not baby sharks, but I do see here that many of you are opening your horizon, and you're expanding, and you're allowing fun and joy and pleasure and excitement to fill your life. Now you have the Seven of Cups. And as I mentioned, that Seven of Cups is exploring the possibilities, allowing yourself to daydream, but now it feels like you are bringing those dreams to life in some way. You're asking yourself some of the deeper questions. What will satisfy and fulfill me? What will evaporate like a dream the morning after? So basically, what's real? What's fantasy? So you're choosing wisely. And I feel like you are saying, I have some beautiful options ahead of me, but I want to make sure that these options are tangible, they're practical, they're going to be beneficial for my family and for my own emotional well-being. And that's where the Six of Pence comes in, because you have a generous heart. Many of you would give the shirt off your back to help another person out, or you have cared for people your whole life. Maybe many of you have played that caregiver role for your own family, your children, your parents, in your career. But I see that this is your time to receive, right? This is your month to receive back that beauty and the love and the joy that you so freely give out to others. Because the Six of Pentacles is known as the charitable heart. So there may be volunteer work, sharing resources, offering a helping hand. There could even be some sort of assistance coming in, financial aid, or, even a loan, or something you've applied for, or something that you're able to help out and share with another. But I do see that you're remembering that sharing is caring. What goes around comes around. You're living by the golden rule. And I see something coming back around because you deserve it. You've earned it. But also it's part of your charitable heart. When you give, you will receive. That's not a law I made up. It's a universal law. And you have the Queen of Cups showing up here. There's that caregiver energy that I was just picking up on for you. The Queen of Intuition. She fosters genuine connections. She is compassionate. She's nurturing. She's a healer. She could be a psychic, a tarot reader, someone who may be in the caring profession, as I've mentioned, maybe a nurse, a massage therapist. Maybe she is someone who has a Reiki practice or does hypnotherapy. Whatever it is that you are doing is transforming in some way. It's like you are doing something that's not or no longer burning you out or going to extremes, because it feels like the Queen of Cups may be a little bit sideways here. So what I'm picking up on for you is some sort of manipulation. Maybe that's that magician that I was picking up on earlier. Sometimes that magician energy in reverse can be a manipulation or a misuse of power, misuse of that beautiful heart, where we can overgive to the point where we lose ourselves a little bit. And with the Queen of Cups, I feel like you are filling your own cup first. You're saying, I don't have to put everybody else's needs ahead of my own. Hence, people pleasing, right? And the Queen of Cups here is not allowing that passive aggression to take over. I feel like you are coming into your own here at this time of year, and you're soaking up the feelings of satisfaction without feeling like it's wrong to do so. Right? And I feel like you are showing up unapologetically yourself, which is where you want to be. This is about you embracing your beautiful gifts and your heart and not apologizing for your own truth. If you want to take some time out, if you want to book that trip, if you want to get a massage, if you have something to say, if you are wanting to expand, not apologizing, don't dim your light, trust your intuition on this one. Because you have a major transformation occurring, death and rebirth. You literally have the baby again. So look at all of this baby energy or childlike energy coming through for you. So you are transitioning into a period that feels fresh, that feels alive. And there's the 8 as well of the infinity symbol. And I see that you are tapping into infinite possibilities here. Maybe some of you even have a tattoo of an infinity symbol. This could show up for you in the coming weeks. It could even be on like a logo or maybe wrapping paper, or it could be on a necklace or a piece of jewelry. So pay attention to this, because the death card represents the death of old patterns, the death of a belief system, the death of maybe attachments that have cause that Queen of Cups to show up in her reverse energy, which can be that passive aggression, or it can be people pleasing or taking things on to the point where it causes moods to elevate, or it causes one to feel easily manipulated or emotionally kind of tumultuous energy. That's what I feel is coming to an end. And you're stepping into this newfound confidence. The more that you say yes to your life, the more that you open up to tribe and family and loved ones who connect with your energy, support you, uplift you, the happier you will be. And it feels like something is finally within reach. You see on this 8 of Wands, she is diving for that key. She knows what she wants. The 8 of Wands is a fast energy. It is velocity of a vision manifesting here. It's fast-paced manifestation. It is communication. Perhaps some of you are even relocating, traveling. There may be an aha moment. I mentioned that travel piece earlier, but it could be that something comes in hot, right? It comes in quick. And this is fiery energy for you. And you're like, wow, this is really within reach. Like, I'm really doing this. I'm really moving. I'm really traveling. I'm really leveling up in my career. I'm really going for my dream in that business, or I'm really going to reach out to this person that I haven't connected with. It feels like it's materializing in front of your own eyes. And there may be this moment of disbelief, like, wow, I've wanted this for so long, or, this is something that's really coming to life, like pinch myself. That's what it feels for you. That's what it feels like. So moving into career, finances, money, wealth, income. There's the student. Okay, so we have another younger energy here. And it says, working with a mentor to learn new skills or to teach you how to implement your plans. Many of you are students, but you could also be teachers. You may be here to teach those that are either less knowledgeable or they don't fully understand maybe their own spiritual gifts. You could have clients or you could have patients. But I see that you're on this new path of learning. So you're going through a bit of a learning curve as you are leveling up and you're expanding your horizons, especially when it comes to your career and the ways that you make money. You could be in school to pursue perhaps higher education. Maybe you work for a school district and you're teaching yourself, Sag, to succeed with money. Or you may be getting a financial advisor or following a professional online. One of my favorites is Mark Kohler. I love listening to him. He's so intelligent, so insightful, and I've taken away so many feedback from watching him on YouTube, especially as a business owner, especially as a creator or someone who's wanting to dip their toes into that world. So you can follow anybody or teach yourself. We have all the resources at our fingertips, but some of you are taking classes, courses, workshops because you want to increase your your finances. You want to increase your income flow or maybe bring in residual or passive income. I'm also getting something here with real estate, Airbnb, travel. That could be maybe a dream or something you're leaning into as well. Now you have work smart, Einstein showing up here. Who wants to work hard for less, or to feel burnt out, right? We are living in an age of redefining what work looks like. And back in the day, I have a great appreciation for my elders and their work ethic, but that's not the life that we live in these days. We have the ability, the technological advancements, and the mindset to work smarter, not harder. And I see that some of you may be making it harder than it has to be, because sometimes the solutions are simple, and sometimes we have those belief systems that say I have to work hard to create this profound success. And don't get me wrong, yes, it doesn't mean that we're not putting work into something, but we don't have to grind. We don't have to hustle to the point where we're feeling exhausted, feeling burnt out, or feeling like we are spending all of our lives merely existing, trying to pay bills, when the big things that we want to prioritize, like family or connecting with the people, the things, the activities we love, are on the back burner because we are drowning our lives in, a career or a job that maybe one doesn't love, or it's all consuming. You want to lean into something that you do enjoy, that you do love, but find the opportunity to bring in and prioritize instead of feeling burnt out. And I see that you may be cleaning house, right? Personally and professionally. You're starting with a clean palette, quite literally. The new year, we are ending 2025 as a 9 energy, which is all about completions, right? Completions as service, accomplishment, solitude represents that 9, where we're moving into a fresh 1 year. New beginnings, leadership, courage. The ones in tarot, the aces, are gifts. And I feel like you have the ability to bring that gift, of yours to life in a different way than maybe you had expected, or to honor your sacred magic, right? That magician energy coming through here, and to remember that you are the creative engineer, and to focus on that vision, bring it to life. And I see many of you are increasing your vitality as well, feeling if you have been feeling burnt out or exhausted, it feels like you're taking action to bring in more of the flow, more of that lighthearted energy, instead of it weighing you down, instead of those, again, death, what I mentioned with death, patterns, beliefs, attachments that are weighing you down. That's where that death card comes in and says, chop, chop, right? I'm cutting these things out, or I'm dealing with them in a different way because I don't want to bring that baggage or carry that incessantly into 2026. So you have unfulfilled here. This is what you do not want, right? You now know what you do not want. And I feel like you've known for a while, but maybe you had to go through some trial and error. You've had to go through perhaps some deeper lessons, and you have really gotten to know yourself as your confidence has been tested. But I see here that there may have even been an emotional attachment to a job or situation that's no longer serving you. So you're exploring your wants and needs. Not only are you considering a change, but you are becoming the change, because you are saying, I don't want to be unhappy. I want to live a life that feels magical, that feels joyful, that feels rewarding. All right. Wow. You have some really beautiful shifts coming in with your career, and even maybe taking something that you love and monetizing off of it. Now, when it comes to relationships, partnerships, and love, you have the teddy bear here. I told you, you have people that love you, people that are in your corner, people that want to date you if you are single, and flirtation is coming through here as well. So there could be a blooming or a budding romance in the air. This could be that 16 candles vibe that I was picking up on earlier. Now, I don't recall everything that occurred in that movie, but didn't she fall in love with someone or have like a her first kiss or something of that nature? Or maybe that was the Pretty in Pink. I get those two confused. But this is someone interested in you, Sag, and I feel like there's just some really beautiful interactions and maybe some gift giving or exchanges happening. And I'm also getting with the teddy bear here. For some of you, not all of you, you may have had a lovey as a child. I remember I had a dog named Coco, and I had a couple of different Cocos growing up that I really loved, right? It was my comfort dog. And some of you may have had a stuffed animal, or you may have had something that, a blanket or some form of memento. Maybe you still have that, or perhaps it's been handed down, or it could be connected to family or lineage or roots, something of that nature. Next, you have grounding. This is something that has been a powerful lesson when it comes to family and relationships. It has to do with your stability, perhaps your root chakra and even your sacral chakra coming through, where performance has been something that has driven you, but now you're looking at it in a different way. Because we can be performance driven, externally driven, ego driven, right? And I see that you are peeling back that belief that it has to be put on as some sort of performance, like it has to look great on the outside. But what about what's happening on the inside? And you've learned a lot of lessons around endurance and continuing to pick away at some of those deeper callings, those deeper self-sabotaging behaviors or old belief systems, again, that death energy. So it feels like you have had to go through some involuntary change in your life when it comes to relationships. And there's been perhaps negative thoughts that have instilled fear around what does love look like? What does stability look like? But I see that you're not coming at it from a point of it has to look a certain way or I have to perform or behave a certain way. It's like you are dropping into your own unique, authentic, beautiful, wild heart, Sag. And you've set some boundaries. Not today, right? You don't want a drama-fueled life, right? And some of you are saying, well, Mel, who would? But sometimes that energy gravitates towards certain people because that is their norm, right? That is the norm because that's how they grew up. That's what their comfort zone is hardwired to attract. And maybe that was a part of your life at some point, but I see that you are starting to stabilize your nervous system instead of it being okay to let people encroach upon your own space, your own boundaries. There's that people pleasing or over compensating here or over giving to the point where you're exhausted or there's nothing left for you. You have learned the art of saying no when you mean no and yes when you mean yes. So I feel like you're being guided to deal with things instead of letting them simmer to the point where you blow up or you become angry or bitter or resentful. And if something is still causing an upset here for you, especially around maybe your inner child or around maybe a family dynamic, now is the time to address it. Because when we do not address these things, our adult problems really are inner child echoes of something unresolved. And for some of you as well, it can manifest as dis-ease in the body, which could come out as a physical symptom. So be mindful of any repressed energies with that Queen of Cups that I'm picking up on here a little bit sideways. So you have the ability to nurture and love and take care of you and allow other people to do so as well. All right, your chakra that is being highlighted is the second chakra, also known as your sacral, about 2 inches below your belly button. This is all about abundance. And it says here, I am worthy and I deserve an abundance of anything that I require. I watch my thoughts to ensure that I am honoring and respecting myself. I honor myself by knowing that I am worthy to receive. I am open to receive now. I remind myself that it is a sign of strength to ask for help. that could be connected to the Six of Coins here and that Queen of Cups, where perhaps pride gets in the way at times of asking for help, or we've been conditioned to do everything our own or to take care of everybody else, that, we feel like we are carrying the weight of the world. That's a refreshed thinking that's coming in for you. That's, I feel, connected to a pattern, maybe around that womb or around that sacral energy here. And lastly, your archetype and energy coming through is the Father. So let's find that in the guidebook. One moment. All right, Sag. We have the Father, the great Father, the masculine, the protector. Alongside the Mother, the Father resides in the central axis of the archetypal family. The Father embodies both light and dark aspects of the masculine. Thus, he is infinitely dynamic and complex. His energy is strong and regal, embodying such virtues as honesty, wisdom, and loyalty. Yet, ironically and simultaneously, the Father is often absent, literally or emotionally. Through absence or action, the Father eventually reveals that he is neither a king nor a god, but a human being with many flaws and wounds. He is both the guardian and one who leaves us to the wolves, here yet gone. The champion and the failure. The Father can never resolve or escape this duality. It is inherent in this archetype itself. Witnessing the Father's limitations allows the child to grow beyond the family and into the world. Read poems about the Father. Sharon Olds' His Stillness or William Blake's Little Boy Lost could call out to you. Become a student of this masculine energy. Okay, there's another student showing up. Not only do you have that showing up in your career sector, you have it all over your reading. So another synchronicity. Become a student of this masculine energy. Watch the Father in movies, in Shakespeare's plays. See the Father as a pattern, not as personal, because there's the death here around that pattern. There's a death around some sort of masculine energy. When this is showing up as the light version, it is supportive, it's strategic, it's regal, it's kind authority. When it's showing up as the dark, it's disappearing, disappointing, devastated by failures. If you want to go deeper, check out Saturn Devouring His Son by both Peter Paul Rubens and Francisco Goya. I'm not sure if that's a poem, a song, a book, or a movie screen, but if that resonates with you and you want to dive further into this Father archetype, then you can certainly do so. Sag, that is what I have for you. So I hope it resonates. Let me know in the comment section below if it does. I would love to hear from you. If you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find that information in the description box or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com. And please do give the video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tuning in today, Sag. Lots of love.